Jade's Complete Auto Detailing. If you haven't figured it out by now, this is what we're working on for this episode. 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air. This car has been in a few times for some general maintenance washes before car shows around the area. But this time we're going to be spending the majority of the detailing work on the outside. Our plan is to perfect the paint and then apply our Jade ceramic coating to the exterior. We'll also give it a general interior and engine bay detail before it does head out. But our main goal here is we're going to stay focused to the exterior of this car. So let me take you around and show you what we're going to be working with, show you the condition of the paint, what's under the hood and the interior, and then we're going to get started. So inside, it's a full custom interior that was just recently installed. Front and rear seats, center console, door panels were all replaced. See if we could sneak back here, get a quick look at the back seat. So doesn't need much on the inside. Like I said, it's been in a few times for some details. Just needs the dust knocked off and quick vacuum, and I think we'll be good to go. All right, so we'll pop the hood here and see what was making all that noise when I was pulling in. So this car is LS swapped with a ton of goodies. The whole drivetrain is basically new. A little bit of dust in there, not too crazy dirty, but we're gonna give it a quick wipe down after we're done completing the outside. Some light marks in the paint. Won't be anything crazy to buff out, polish out, but it definitely needs some attention before we apply the coating. It's really hard to pick up in the lighter color of this car, but you could see some. This is back by the rear window. Just very small areas that'll need a little extra attention as we go around. So my plan for today is to get this thing washed. We're gonna do a very light contact wash just to get any of the dust and road debris, probably most likely from the ride up here. Get that all cleaned up and dried, get it up on the quick jacks, set up and ready to go. And then tomorrow, first thing when I come in, is to attack the paint and just get around the whole thing, get it ceramic coated, and it'll be good to go. So that's our plan. Here we go. Guys, if you don't have this tool yet, if you're a detailer, even if you just do it for fun, drying things off or doing interior details, this Tornador blowgun is amazing. I bought one and then immediately bought a second one just to have a spare here, or if two guys are on different vehicles. But it's great for interiors, it's blowing things around after you do your initial vacuum, but also for drying a car. This is great for blowing out any water that might be sitting in the moldings around the wheels, front and rear bumper, and then just go back real quick and wipe everything off with a towel. Definitely a good investment. They're not that expensive. You can find them online. They're made by Tornador. We have their other tools here, and they're all top notch. Okay, so we got this thing up in the air, and I'm definitely glad I have the ability to do this when I'm detailing a car to this magnitude. If I just bring in closer and see what the bottom half, basically from that molding down, just kind of what the paint looks like down in this bottom half. So it definitely needs some attention down here. When I did detail it the last 2 times, we didn't go crazy with it, and I didn't have it up on the lift to see what it looks like down here, but lots of fine scratches, just needs to be finished. So you have your wet sanding scratches that are still there that will go over and knock down right there. There's a lot in the bottom of this fender. So we're just gonna go around the whole car, and there's a little bit of like road grime that's still kind of stuck to the paint in some sections. So we're gonna get that all wiped down, and then we'll get to our test spot, figure out what combo is gonna knock all those scratches out, make it look the best, and then we'll get back to work. So I did my test spot over here on the bottom of the fender, and this was the biggest area of concern if you remember when I was going around the vehicle, kind of shining my light on here. There were a lot of sanding scratches that were still in the paint. So we started least aggressive, worked our way up from there, and the combo that really did the best for me was 3D1, which I use all the time. This is my number 1, and 2 little dabs of Meguiar's 105, which I have in this squeeze bottle here. And that was able to cut out all of those sanding scratches that were still in the paint. We used the blue Lake Country. This is a pretty heavy cut pad, but we're kind of medium aggressive with our compound. So it did leave a little bit of hazing in the paint. So then I came back with a polishing pad, a Lake Country polishing pad, and 3D 502. So this is their step 2. This is gonna take out any of those holograms that might be in there from the buffer or the hazing, which we had on here. So let me show you the result of this bottom part of the fender, and then we're gonna work the rest of the bottom half of these doors all the way around while we have the car up, and then we'll lower it down and we'll work on the top. Now from here up, we won't have to get as aggressive as we did down here, so we might get away with just a 1 step. We'll have to see what our results are after we hit that, but right now we're just gonna concentrate on the bottom half. So we can see right through here is where all those sanding scratches were. We're definitely in better shape than we were before. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue going around the vehicle and knock all that stuff out. Might be hard for the camera to pick up, but I don't know if you could see the difference between the fender, which I did the 2-step on, I polished it after I did the compound, compared to the door. So the door has a little bit of haziness to it, and that's what we're gonna knock out right now with our 2nd step as we go around with the finishing polish, the 502 from 3D. Gone now, and we're matching the bottom of the fender that I finished out You can see a pretty big difference. It's hard to see from that angle, but you can see the difference here as I look at it with the light shining in that direction. So just keep plugging away here. Okay, so the bottom half of the driver's side is done. So we're gonna hop over the passenger side, same routine, knock out any blemishes that are in the paint over there, and then we'll be able to drop it down and work on the top half of the car. We got to the passenger side right above the rear wheel, and there's some sanding marks that we need to work on. But what we're gonna do is use the mini polisher with a wool pad. We'll knock that down, and then we'll come back through with a finishing pad and get all of our holograms and everything out of there. But you can definitely see the sanding marks right here in this spot. Really dull looking as the light shines on it. Okay, so we were able to level out the paint, but now you can see all the holograms in there. So that's why you need to come back and polish that out to remove all that haziness and the holograms from using the wool pad. But not a big deal. We'll get that all cleaned up and it'll be looking just as good as the rest of the car. Bottom half of the car is done, so we dropped it back down on all fours, and now we're going to concentrate on the top half. Right next to the trunk lid here at the top of the quarter, this area. We're going to hit that with the mini polisher also. Small little sanding spots, and it's not a perfectly flat spot. It's got a little indentation to it, a little curve. So this mini polisher will just be able to concentrate on that one little section and knock those scratches out, and then just come back with our polish and finish out the rest of the top of the quarter and the trunk lid. Alright, I took care of those scratches, and now we'll just finish out the rest. So the car is prepped, polished everything out, everything looks good. So our next step is going to be to wipe the entire vehicle down with our prep spray. This will remove any of the polishing residues that are still on the surface so that the ceramic coating can adhere to the clear coat itself and any other surface such as the bumpers and the windows. In this vehicle, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be applying the Jade Graphene ceramic coating. This is rated at a 5-year coating. And on a vehicle like this, you're probably going to get longer than 5 years out of the protection from this coating, being that it's inside most of its life and just heads out on nice weather days. So it's not in the elements, the harsh elements, and getting washed all the time. So we're going to lay down this protection, and this car will be finished up. that's gonna do it for this detail, guys. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. Be sure to smash that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Turn on notifications for all our other videos coming out. Like the video, comment below, do whatever you gotta do. But thanks for watching, I appreciate it, and we will see you on the next one.